Just about everything in Apple's lineup has a Pro version, but what exactly makes a Pro phone has never really been clear until now. The iPhone 13 Pro really feels like it's built for professionals, not just filmmakers or viral fast food creators, but the advent of platforms like TikTok and Canva means that mobile video production is becoming an essential skill for a whole range of careers. And more people will need a phone that can deliver on that without running out of battery over the course of a working day. So let's take a closer look at the iPhone 13 Pro and ask exactly whose day job a smartphone like this could change forever. To see what makes this phone pro, let's quickly compare it to the base model before going into exactly why those features matter so much. As well as all the standard iPhone 13 features, you're getting a telephoto lens with 6x optical zoom range, a LiDAR scanner for improved night performance and the ability to shoot in ProRes, a codec that allows you to compress video files without losing quality, and that makes it a lot easier to edit the videos you've shot on your phone on your computer. You'll also get a very welcome bump in battery life, especially if you go for the Pro Max, and if you do that, you're also going to get a bigger screen. By far the hero of this phone is the remarkable camera system. We'll get to cinema mode shortly, but let me just say that if you're working in any marketing, comms or multimedia job, filming on this phone is going to be like glimpsing the future. This year, Apple has worked wonders with stabilization to a level that would have required a gimbal on my iPhone 10. Huge improvements during low light and 3x optical zoom in mean that you can get amazing photos in tricky situations without taking a whole camera kit with you. Meanwhile, macro mode allows you to take highly detailed close-ups simply by moving your camera towards the subject. In a lot of cases, it'll get so close that you can't really tell what's being photographed, but it's incredibly fun to play around with. But let's get on to cinema mode, and the best way I've heard it described is as portrait mode for video. What it's actually there for is to mimic focus racking, which is a technique that filmmakers use to bring subjects in and out of focus, so you draw the audience's attention to different things within a shot. Cinema mode definitely isn't made for the big screen, and if you're watching this video on anything bigger than your phone, you'll probably see some imperfections. But the first time you shoot in cinema mode, you'll be astounded at how cinematic it actually looks. I got so excited trying this over the past couple of days, and I still can't believe it's just software. I'm already dreaming about all the different ways that I could use this to enhance my visual storytelling. One big advantage of doing this is that you can go in and edit the level of focus as well as the focus tracking after the fact if you're not happy with how the video turned out. When you open up the edit tab, you'll see keyframes for all of the moment that the camera has shifted focus. You'll be able to remove them entirely or actually just change the subject that the camera was focusing on. You can also dial up and down the background blur to get the exact effect that you want. I wish you could also alter the timing of the keyframes, but that doesn't seem possible yet. If you figured it out, let me know in the comments. But here's the thing. When you can augment the quality and versatility of this camera system with the post-production capabilities of TikTok, YouTube Shorts or Canva, you're only limited by your own imagination. All of that means your phone is now a powerful mobile studio. Apple still has a long way to go before it can convince people to start making feature films on an iPhone. But for that creative class of social media marketers and hobbyist creators, this is the best access we've ever had to professional filmmaking techniques. It goes without saying that these are the fastest phones that Apple has put out yet, with the A15 Bionic chip blazing through any task you throw at it. It's genuinely hard to tell how fast this phone actually is though, because the ProMotion display makes everything look so slick. From the standard iOS animations to the dynamism and colour when gaming, this phone is truly mesmerizing. And again, in the context of professional applications, there are so many designers and creative agencies who only show their work to a client on the phone in the environment that the end user is going to see it. And these screens make that challenge of convincing the client to trust in your vision that little bit easier just because of how beautiful they look. Meanwhile, the battery life is phenomenal. I've gone 1.5 days in between charges, and that's taking videos, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube and playing some games. And that's huge for people whose jobs include long commutes or international travel. Of course, all of this doesn't matter if iOS 15 can't live up to the hardware, and even if I'm still getting used to the search bar being at the foot of Safari, there are some genuine productivity updates in iOS 15 that I think could really help people in their day-to-day jobs. The ability to turn handwritten notes into digital text is a massive feature in my opinion. It just means that taking notes in a meeting or taking a quote from a book is going to be that little bit easier. And Apple have added a nice way of categorizing those notes with a tags feature, which is also just a nice little quality of life update. So does all this mean that you can start doing your day job on an iPhone? Well, let's not get carried away. But just like the iPad Pro, if phones keep progressing in this direction, then they'll only become more and more commonplace in our daily work. And if you're wondering whether you can do your day job on an iPad Pro, well, I actually tried it for 3 weeks, so make sure to watch this video to see how that went.